Happy Thursday, Locked On Women's Basketball fans. Guys, today is so special because we finally get to talk to two coaches from Unrivaled, coach of the undefeated Lunar Owls, and then later on, the one and only Andrew Wade. Locked On Women's Basketball starts right now.
You are Locked On Women's Basketball, your daily podcast on women's basketball. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Okay, guys, let's get it going because I'm so excited. We get to have the perspective of a skills trainer, now head coach, former athlete. You went to UNH. I went to high school in New Haven, Connecticut. I'm so excited to talk to you, DJ. Thank you for coming on.
Of course. Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you, and congrats. 8-0 is crazy. Undefeated. How does that feel?
It's cool, but we keep saying we're 0-0 because in this league you can really lose any night. Anyone could beat anyone. This is an all-star league, so just trying to do what we've been doing from a preparation standpoint that got us to this spot, and not cutting any corners whatsoever because we're 0-0. So just trying to keep our head down and take care of business and keep grinding. So it's been good.
Well, it's working, and that game-to-game mentality, I think, is amazing. So last time you guys played, it was against the Mist. You guys beat them. Your team is so spread out. Like, he just won the one-on-one tournament, and it's so hard to imagine you guys not continuing on to maybe be undefeated. That might be crazy to say, but did you watch the one-on-one tournament?
I did.
Yep.
In Aruba with my family, and I was watching it through a VPN on my phone. So, but yeah, I was screaming. I was hyped for Fee and the rest of our team. Obviously, everyone won, so it was great. And that setup is great. I've been talking to Alex about this for years. Like that one-on-one, someone's going to do it the right way. And at the professional level, if you can really get the ego and the pride involved, and it just becomes like this real dogfight. And one-on-one is fun to watch when you have two high-level players really going at it. So it was fun. I was excited for Fee and the rest of our team, like I said. So it was good.
That explains your Aruba tan. Now I get it. Now I know you were on vacation. That makes sense.
I was working out there, but yeah, I was a little vacation. It was fun. It was nice with my family. So it's cool.
Good little break. But you brought something up that makes me think about your kind of origins with basketball. You've said that the AN1 tournament kind of got you into it. So like, is this kind of a full circle moment? Like you see that as a kid and you're like, I got to copy some of those moves. And now you're the head coach of a team with a player who just won like a very successful one-on-one tournament.
Yeah. I mean, I played my whole life, got into training. My real passion is training. So it's like what I really love to do, player development. I have my own businesses. We run events all over the world. So that's really what my full-time thing is. And then obviously I have this online training business, but this experience for me, the coaching has been like a huge learning experience for me, just being around like the best players in the world. And we have a very collaborative environment. I'm not like a dictator hierarchy type of coach, and I don't operate like that as a human being. So our locker room is very communicative and collaborative. We pick each other's brains. So from that standpoint, for me, I've learned a ton from these women, and it's been a great experience. They're the best in the world. Each of them do special things. So like just learning the nuances of how they're thinking and how they're operating in certain scenarios has been great for my personal development and like the next step in my career. So that's what I'm personally most excited about. And being around this environment with 36 of the best players in the world is just like, it's a great environment to be a part of. Just being around high achievers on a daily basis and how all these women operate in their own space through recovery, through on-court stuff, through the weight room, and then they all have their own personal brands and personal businesses. it's a lot, and a lot of them have children as well. So just watching how these high achievers are navigating the space it's incredible to be a part of. So it's been good.
It's so infectious too, being there. Like, I'm about to show the listeners my first time showing them. I got my little Unrivaled towel last week, and I was actually in the building, and I was like, wow, it's such a unique thing from everybody in the building, from coaches, players, to staff, to just people making it happen. And I love that you brought up mindset too, because I think a lot of the times that player development, you can focus just on skills, but mindset's like one of the biggest things. And I saw you post, at least with Napheesa, saying, all right, for her, she wants to check this box. She wants to make whatever 10 shots in a row before she leaves the gym. Like, has there been anything that's happened with a player on your squad? Because you have some of the best players in the world on your team, in Courtney, in Fee, in Shakira, in Leash, and Cam, like all. Anyway, just through and through, it's an impressive team. So what mindset-wise have you picked up from either an individual or them as a group?
I think Skylar to me has been very from the beginning adamant about winning, and she drove our competitiveness up as a unit like right away. And she's not here. She's here to win, and her competitiveness really set the tone for us. And obviously, we want to win, but and also develop at the same time. So that put us to this area of like we're here to compete, and in competition, and us trying to really like grind every day and stack days. Organically, we're all going to improve and get better, and we're going to be taking this off season to a level of development, hopefully that we've never gotten to it as a group. So Skylar to me has been, from a competitive standpoint, has been like pretty impressive. She's really like, getting after it every day, and in the games you can see it, how she like wills her way and wills our team to win.
Right.
It's incredible.
And her ability to finish too. You're like, okay, she's going for that right now, and then she makes it too. Like, you're watching her in the game. Is there a moment that sticks out from the season so far where you're like, how did she do that?
Yeah, well, she had her layup last game. She had like a going left and floated off the glass with her right hand, and like hit the top of the backboard. Like that's just pure touch. I was like, wow, that was an incredible finish. Y'all gotta watch that if you're tuned in.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna put it up. I know what you're talking about. That was crazy. And her pass too.
Her behind the back.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a competitor. She's fast too. Like, I don't know if anyone knows this, but like she is very, very fast, and can get downhill with a lot of energy and quickness. So it's good. It's good. But her, like I said, her competitiveness and like spirit from the beginning really set the bar for us, for our team, and for our culture as a unit. So it's been good.
There was no one more locked into watching the one-on-one than her, by the way, too. Like, I saw her on the sideline, focused. It was like she wanted in. She was ready, but she was also kind of coaching too from the side. Yeah. Okay, so last couple, we got to get you to film.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Coach. What'd you say?
A good group. We're all like rooting for each other, and I think it starts with our collaborative environment and how we all are just talking to each other and helping each other through adversities and different things throughout the season. So that's been great. And then it starts with Fee, obviously, as when you have the best player arguably in the world that has no ego at all, and she's just here to win, then it sets the standard for the team. If the best player in this league is not going to have any ego and is going to show up every day and is going to work and not miss any weight room sessions or any recovery sessions, she shows up and she's not complaining and she's putting in the effort, then the team is going to follow when the best player on your team does that. So it starts with that. Then you mix in the little Sky's competitiveness, and then you have Courtney Williams, who is like her basketball IQ is like next level.
Crazy.
Yeah, and she communicates it really well. Then you have Shakira, who's a little younger, who's just full of energy, and then Alicia, I call her the silent assassin. She just shows up, great energy, good vibes. So we just have a good group, get along with each other, and it's been good so far.
I love that video with Leash too. You're like tween, and then just shoot the ball. Like you're adding more skills to someone with such a deep bag already.
Trying to, yeah. That's the goal.
Well, congrats on all the success. I'm so excited to watch you guys keep on playing. And now you guys got a little bonus, each of you guys, too, to keep a little bit of motivation. But we'll let you get to film, too.
Yeah, cool. Appreciate you. Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you. Thank you. All right, everybody. Coming up, too, we have so much more Locked On Women's Basketball. So more after this. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. When the game tips off, the NBA action is just getting started, and there's no better place to get in on it than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game, so even if you miss the opening tip-off or want to bet on fourth quarter comeback, you can stay in the action. And if you're looking for a bigger payout, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay. I love using FanDuel's live betting feature because it helps keep track of every moment and keep every game exciting. Whether I'm backing my team for a late game rally or picking up a player to hit a clutch three, I never feel like I missed my chance. Plus, the app is easy to use, and when you win, you get paid instantly. Right now, new FanDuel customers can bet $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Okay, guys, we're going to have so much more Locked On Women's Basketball after just a little bit more because we're going to give time for Coach Andrew Wade to hop on. Okay, we're now here with the head coach of the Laces. I'm so excited to talk to Andrew Wade, former player development assistant at the Mystics, former hooper at Catholic University of America, and now the newest player development coach for the Liberty. So hopefully you'll be in New York. Coach Wade, how are you?
Great. Really great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so happy to have you. Okay, so you literally just came from practice and you said it was a good one. So what was good about it? What was why was it exciting?
Yeah, we're starting to get some players back in the mix, which is a really good sight to see, of course, as a coach. We've had so many bodies go down these last few weeks. So nice seeing, close to our full group back out there. We were able to go up and down a little bit for the first time in a while. And it's just nice having some extra days in between games to get some extra prep in.
Okay, good. And then next up, you're going to be playing the Lunar Owls. We literally just had Coach DJ on. So how do you think this game against Phantom kind of is helping the way you could prepare for that game?
Yeah, I think, first of all, like our biggest goal, right, is trying to figure out a way to stop Fee. And so I guess the Phantom, in a way, have a player who plays similar to Fee, I guess, and Satu. Obviously more of like a stretch big wing that can score in transition and then shoot threes. So, trying to match their size as best as possible. But, both teams present different matchup problems. So just kind of playing the chess match between both. Okay.
And now you do have an extra addition onto your team, and this just lines up perfectly with the Liberty. This is like the Liberty's fans' favorite player too. You got Bucket B on the team. So what was it like? You have her come in and then she absolutely crushes, and people are like, oh, right, Betnijah, we forgot about her.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, truthfully, like when I got the text that she'd be joining us, I was thrilled for a number of reasons. Obviously, the Liberty situation, but just knowing how good she'd be in this format, an explosive player on both ends of the court, offensively and defensively, can shoot, can score at the rim. So I just knew, honestly, when I first got this coaching opportunity, I'm like, oh, what players would be good in this format? And Betnijah was one of the first names that came to mind. So just super excited that she's a part of our locker room now.
Yeah, okay. I can only imagine. So can we just talk about the squad you got to? Because I remember talking to Stephanie and I'm like, how is anybody going to beat this team? Obviously things have changed, but that doesn't mean you guys don't have one of the best squads. Like across the board, all of your players step up. And then you also have Kiki Jefferson come on, go 2 for 3 from 3. Like what is the vibe of your team? Like, how would you describe them?
Just a very easygoing but competitive group. Honestly, it's a locker room full of vets, aside from Kate and from Kiki. So they've all played a ton of basketball. They're just super self-sufficient, super selfless. They care for each other. And ultimately, they don't really care who gets credit. They just want to go out there and win. So as a coach, that's really all you can ask for is a group that's just super competitive. And the other piece too is just like a high level of basketball IQ. So we're able to kind of figure out things on the fly and just kind of outsmart teams sometimes. So biggest thing right now is getting healthy, because we have so much confidence that we can win the championship, in a few weeks here.
Gotcha. And can we talk about K-Mac for a second too, and her ability to score, and what have you seen her improve on, or maybe has she surprised you at all in any ways throughout the season?
I don't know if surprised, but just, you grow to appreciate, who they are as people and who they are as players more when you're up close in person with them. I've always admired her, as an athlete and as a competitor, but like being able to see her put in the work every single day, but also just be the best person in the locker room as well. There's no question that she honestly should be the MVP of this league because of, obviously what she's doing on the court and where our team is at. She's just been super consistent. So just super, super grateful that she's in our locker room. And, after going against her for years, it's really nice to have her on my team for once.
Right. And now, like, I've talked to players about compartmentalizing and realizing this is its own season and then we'll get to W, but it's hard not to remember what team everybody is on and like kind of do your scouting or whatever it is right now. So as much as I don't know how much you want to talk about that, but for this to be a mix and kind of also a preparation for W season, has anything caught your eye at all?
Again, I would say maybe just being able to see and understand who the players are as people.
Right.
Like I've been in the W for 6 seasons, and so I've always seen them and kind of admired from afar. But now I get to know, right, like what is K-Mac's routine? What is Jackie's routine? What hand do they prefer driving on, out of timeouts, things like that. And so just I'd say the little nuances of who they are as people and obviously as players too, is kind of what's standing out the most.
Gotcha. And then as for the opponents, who's the hardest team to play? I know Lunar Owls have been a challenge and you have them coming up, but would you say that's the hardest, like matchup wise for you guys as well?
I definitely think they have to be up there, especially to, we're trying to keep it with a grain of salt because we haven't played them fully healthy yet. So, with that being said, I'd say they're up there, obviously, for, as much shooting they have on the floor. The Rose are just an extremely physical team. And so that's another one that, that's a tough matchup. But truthfully, like when we're all healthy, we feel like we're the best team in the league. So I think it's just kind of getting to that point and we'll see from there.
Gotcha. And then mindset wise, what have you been instilling on the team, and what's the mentality day to day?
I think I've spoken to a few people about it, but we have this thing called the perspective count in the locker room, and it's basically a countdown, basically knocking the days off until the Unrivaled championships. I think today we're 26 or 27 days out. The idea of it was just to put into perspective how many days left we have together in this locker room. But also that we want to be playing our best basketball with, I don't know, we'll say 10, 15 days left on that perspective count. So I think it's just a nice reminder to look up every day and kind of realize, of course we're here and we're living in the moment, but we also have a larger goal, and that's to win the championship in March.
Mm-hmm. I have heard you talk about that, and I think that's an amazing thing. And I think that's the beauty of coaching too, is how much coaches are working on self-development just as much as they're working on developing the team. So for you this year, 2025, is there one thing that you're personally working on right now? Because I know you're always adding to your own toolbox as well.
Yeah. I've learned so much through this experience, right? It's my first time in the head seat ever. And so, I've learned that it's more about just managing, I guess, the locker room and kind of everything that comes with it, more so than basketball, right? And then I'd say 2 is just, being able to adapt on the fly. We've been hit by so many injuries and things change day to day. And so just being able to adjust and kind of move on the fly is where I've grown the most. And just kind of getting comfortable with the uncertainty.
Gotcha. Okay, last couple maybe quick hitters before we just wrap it up with a little Lunar Owls discussion. Is there anything you're manifesting for this year, 2025?
Oh, just in general?
Just in general.
Oh, wow. I would say a Liberty championship in 2025. I'm manifesting that.
Okay. All right. So back to back, what would it take to go back to back?
And I haven't been in the building yet and kind of had feet on the ground yet up at the facility, but I think a commitment to, whatever worked last year, but kind of playing with an edge every night, right? Like the target's been on their back, or I guess our back now, for a few years. And so just understanding that, every single night in the W that, the other team's going to give us their best shot, and being comfortable with that.
I think that's great wisdom. And I'm sure Liberty fans would be happy to hear that coming into, and finally, just to wrap things up, you're playing the Lunar Owls. How do you beat them?
Man, that's the biggest question. I think, it's much easier said than done, but, trying to slow down Fee as best as you can. And then, also slowing down their guards. They like to play super fast. They play downhill. So being able to just disrupt them as much as we can when we're on defense, and then offensively, right? Like just creating the shots we want, layups, and then driving kick threes. So I think being true to who we are, in our identity is kind of how we beat them.
Going to be picking up one more win. Guys, this is Coach Andrew Wade. Thank you so much for coming on. It was great to talk to you, and I'm so excited to keep on watching this entire season.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, everybody. That is Thursday's episode of Locked On Women's Basketball. We were blessed with two different coaches. It's so great to hear the coaching perspective alongside the player perspective. And thank you for joining us. It's honestly my pleasure, and I love getting your questions and working them into the show too. So shout out to everybody leaving the comments. Keep commenting, keep hitting the like button, and thank you for joining. We'll see you next time.